Hey everybody, this is Misty Buck, president of Miss Inc. We are back for another Marketing Monday. I have a really special guest today. We haven't seen each other in person for years. We've kept in touch on social media over the course of this time. This is Mary Cerdeiras. Did I say it right?
Yes,
did I pronounce
you
it right?
You did. Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's always like a thing for me, guys. I hate pronouncing names wrong. So Mary is into essential wellness. She is a trauma-informed yoga teacher. So we're going to talk about that because that's actually a really cool thing that she's doing. She's a wellness advocate. She educates people on essential oils and oil-infused products and all kinds of other awesome stuff. So we're going to get into how she helps people with their wellness, particularly that trauma-informed yoga. I think that's really important with everything that's going on over the last year and a half. And, you know, we've all just have experienced so much. So we'll get into that. And then we'll also get into some of her marketing tips on how she's using that to grow her business. She might even ask me a question or two. We might do some just back and forth here. So anyhow, let's get into it. Mary, welcome to the show. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Misty.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, it's awesome. I'm so excited to see you after all this time.
I know.
Life
so
is
crazy.
Yep. My name is Mary Cerdeiras, and I'm a wellness advocate, first and foremost. And I'm a yoga teacher. I've just recently, in the last year and a half, become an informed trauma yoga teacher. And I educate on essential oils, infused products. And I just really advocate for clean living, staying away from the toxins. We're always being bombarded by toxins and in our food, in our environment. And now of late, it's going to be word toxicity, you know, how people are being aggravated and we're getting bombarded with that. So, and we're super traumatized after the last couple of years of what we've all been going through, you know.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So tell us a little bit about that. Where do you teach at? Why would someone be interested in trauma-informed yoga? Just give us the tea, as the kids say.
Okay. Well, I've been teaching yoga since 2011 when I graduated from Prana Yoga Center in Coral Gables. And I've been teaching for the last 8 years religiously at the Doral Central Park. And now they're closed because it's becoming an entertainment complex. So they moved us to Doral Glades Park, which is a beautiful park. It's got a nature trail. It's got all kinds of things for kids and families. So we're out there now. I'm there every other Saturday at 9 a.m. And then we have another teacher that goes out there on the alternate Saturdays.
Okay.
So I just taught this last Saturday, and anywhere from 20, 25, 30 people come out.
Wow.
Men and women. We want more men out there.
Yes, men. Important to take care of yourselves too.
Right. And so I've been teaching. I've done studio teaching, community teaching, free teaching, paid teaching, and private. I do private. And now I can do private, you know, in person and Zoom, how anybody likes, everybody's different, you know, how they want to be taught now with what's going on. And trauma informed is basically that I am a yoga teacher that's informed on what to look for, how to train with, trauma, conscious languaging, how to talk to someone, not to trigger them. So, you know, and we're all now traumatized. We have a lot of trauma out there. We have, but I'm starting to teach now trafficked girls for a community organization that's been around for a while. I can't talk too much about the organization, but
right.
I teach there and I taught a few classes over the summer for the foundation that I work for, Warrior Flow. And it was amazing. I was a little bit, nervous because I've never done it before. But, you know, once I got there, I look at them and I go, well, they could be my daughters.
Yeah.
You know, I could be their mother. And,
right.
And it was just beautiful how they were very receptive. And it's basically giving people, girls, men, also boys too, but this is a particular girl class, giving them sovereignty over their bodies. Having them understand that they have control over their own bodies, and you know, and teaching them that, and letting them know that throughout the class, especially in the beginning. And that's basically what the class does, and it's part of a holistic and program that they're on. With whatever training they're getting through this program.
Right.
I'm part of that.
I love it.
So it's a village.
It really is a village. It really is a village. And what I love so much about this is that I think what a lot of people generally don't tend to really realize is that, you may do like talk therapy, and you may go through some of these other things, and you're sort of talking these things out, and you're working out what's in your mind, but your body actually stores trauma, and it's usually unique to the individual how you feel it, and you might feel off, or you might feel a really distinct sense of something, or maybe you're just not in tune with it at all. And helping to recognize that and release it is huge for the healing process, and also preventing things in the future, right? Because when you start to recognize your body feeling a certain way, you might be able to say, oh, this is probably happening because of X situation. So just before this is such an important topic, so I don't want to rush into the marketing stuff. So how does the body store trauma?
It stores it in the tissues.
Okay.
There is a quote that I forget her name. I was just reading her book. It says the issues are in our tissues, and that's what they do.
The issues are in our tissues.
Yeah,
that's a good way to remember it.
In our lungs, they settle in our liver.
Yeah,
like anger and resentment stores in the liver. I think in the heart, it's also resentment and fear and jealousy. It all sets in there. And the one thing I want to say is trauma doesn't have to be big. It could be small little things like bullying is big, but I mean, if someone could just say something off to you, and that's traumatizing. A car accident, you tripped and fell, and you forget about it, but that's traumatizing. Little things, a divorce, however little, however big, it's just irrelevant. It's just different for different people.
Right.
What may traumatize me may not traumatize you.
Right.
And what happens is, a lot of it happens when we're little, and when we're little, we cannot process it because we don't understand it. So we put it inside, and then eventually, as you're growing up, it will manifest.
Correct.
So what yoga can do is help the body move in ways that it can release and process it for them. Through language, through giving them body agency. All these things give that person the freedom to know their bodies again. Because another thing that happens is you really you kind of like leave the body. You're not really in the body in a sense, right? Spiritually. And so we want to bring you back in so you can, see your body, feel your body, know, and you're not out of it. Right. And so yoga brings it in, the breathing, the meditation that I do, because I incorporate all these things. Sort of like awesome. It's called tantric hatha yoga, where what it means is you're enveloping different things, modalities into the yoga practice. Okay. Like the breathing, the pranayama breathing, the meditation, the movement. So it's movement, moving the body, twisting, different things that you can do. I have a special class for them, and you have to do it in a way where they feel inclusive and they don't feel intimidated. Right. So it's the way you posture your class, and how you have everybody sitting down. I have it in a circle, so we're all facing each other. And I tell them in the beginning how the class is, and if they want to participate, they can. If they don't, it's totally fine. I
love that.
Yeah, I give them, agency and give them the freedom and give them the power back because it was taken away from them. Right. So that's what makes me feel so good inside, that I can give back someone their sovereignty and their freedom. That's beautiful. And so I'm always talking about that type of thing. So yeah, I love that, giving them back their freedom. So all right, wow, we could really go deep into this. Be another show, right? That's another show. I think it's another show, but I love that. So as much as we love to share marketing tips on this show, and we're about to get right into that, what I want you to just remember is just take a second, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and really just recognize not just what's going on up here, not just emotionally, but look at mind, body, soul, right? So how am I feeling and where am I feeling it? And just allowing yourself to acknowledge those things, because that's where the release starts to happen versus just ignoring it, right? So, yeah. Right, exactly right. So we can sort of take that tip for today and then put that in your self-care tip, right? Yes. Put that in that toolbox. We do a little bit on that show. For those that don't know, I'm also a mental health coach, so I nerd out on this stuff. I knew you had some kind of background, because you really knew what you're doing. You definitely did your research, if anything. No, yeah, I work on the other side too. So, all right, so let's talk a little bit about marketing this amazing business that you're doing, and this incredible, I would not even say business, I'm going to say service, because it's more about service than it is about a job, right? Absolutely. So we talked a little bit about how you are spreading the word about this, and you mentioned first and foremost being authentic. Right. So what does that mean to you? What does authenticity in marketing mean to you? Being yourself, being who you are, and letting your own personality come through. Whatever that is, you make mistakes, if you whatever that is. If you're a happy person, you like to give, you like to love on people, whatever that is you, that you feel comfortable with, that you don't have to, not wearing a mask and looking like everybody else and being everybody else, because your business is you, and people are going to follow you for you. And
she doesn't mean mask like the kind that keep you safe.
No,
she means mask like she's not advocating for not wearing masks. She means, let's be clear here before you guys send me mail. That's not what she's talking about. No. She means like
persona. Like the persona mask. Exactly. The persona mask. Yeah. Right. And and it comes through, your authenticity comes through, and you feel good about it, being who you are, and people are going to follow you because they like you, and the ones that don't agree with you or don't align with you will not, and that's okay. That's what you want people to follow you that align with you.
Yeah, I love that.
With your purpose.
Right, because something we say all the time on this show, repeat from, if you've heard it before, scream it out loud. People do business with people that they like. Boom. Yeah. That's it. And you're not going to be for everybody in business or in your personal life, right? So I think that's awesome what you're talking about. Is just really just being authentic, because maybe somebody won't vibe with that, but maybe somebody will. Maybe you'll change somebody's day just by sharing. And you don't know how many people you touch by doing that, and how many people resonate with you, and people are watching and they go, oh my God, even just one person. If you get to one person, that person feels good or has the information they need, you've been of service, like you're saying. Right. I love that. So one way that you get this out there, we were talking a little bit before we went live, is stories, like Instagram stories. So you're big on Instagram, you're using stories, you're starting to use Reels. Tell us a little bit about how you're using those tools and how it's helping you spread the word about your service. Okay, so I love stories. I learned about stories from my team. I have a team that I work with in my Young Living business. And they're always saying, be authentic and do your stories, have people come into your life. So I go out there and talk about my grandkids and how I'm doing oils with them and how they love it and they're using it, and just within my families with my cat. And I just let them in a little bit what I'm doing, in my personal life. So they get to know me a little bit, and how I use my products and how how I'm advocating for what I want everybody else to be doing, stay away from toxins. So I'm always talking about getting the best products, eating good food, organic food, taking care of their bodies, doing yoga, meditation, and just spreading the word to help themselves, and again, giving them autonomy, giving them sovereignty over their own bodies and how they want to, conduct themselves that way, and be healthy and just be healthy. I love that. I love that you're not just giving those tips, and I love that you're not just like showing what you're eating, although people love to see that kind of stuff too. But I love what you said, that piece about using essential oils even with your grandkids, and sort of bringing that into the picture, because people think, who really cares about my life and what I have to do? But when you're really being authentic, and I think when you're really being of service, you're really living your brand 24/7 when you're doing it correctly, right? There's not so much separation between who you are as a business person and who you are, and personally. And so when you can show that, and stories is the perfect way to do that. So I'm so happy to hear that you're doing that. So what's the response been like? Oh, people will, I love that you do that. And where can I get that? And how do you use it? Like the people that do use in the business with me, or they are using oils and they go, oh, how can I use this? And I'll go, oh, hey, you can use it like this. Or, so I'm getting information out there that's helpful to people, and I see their response, or they'll laugh at me, or, and think they'll comment, so I'll get reactions from people. But I'm reaching people. I'm reaching a lot of people. That's awesome. With the information. So is there an essential oil or a service that people are most responsive to, or is it like stuff related to stress, immunity, or what? Like, what are the hot topics for you right now? Definitely stress, stress related, muscular pains, and a lot of lung pains from what's been going on. So I've been giving them a lot of information on that, how to keep their lungs open, and stress, lavender, anything peace and calming, and how to bring it into your office, or just your daily, just as easy as putting it in your hand and sitting in your car and taking a moment, to release the stress, and, or taking a walk on grass, on ground, and just, grounding yourself. Because a lot of times we're not like, oh my God, I gotta find some piece of, grounding. They're like all, floating all over the place. I literally will sit in the grass under a tree sometimes.
I usually start. Yeah, right. No,
I legit do. I've done
Yeah.
stories about that. So I'm not even
true.
gonna lie. Like I
Just
need to
take your
just go
shoes off
be, yeah.
and ground.
And
I start a
ground.
lot of my classes just grounding, whether we're on the
Yeah.
floor or we're walking on pavement or grass.
Right.
Let's just ground for a moment, intentions, and then start your day. And I think everybody should start their day like that too.
Yeah.
Like not on the phone. Leave the phone for later. I've learned how to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think not starting your day with your phone and not ending your day with your phone
Yes.
are huge. Again, we could do a whole show just on that topic, but I think those are really, really powerful tips because, you know, people think marketing and social media and I have to always be connected. And it's hard for you to actually operate in your full authenticity if you don't take that time to step back for yourself, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't have the energy to do it if you're always like, you know, you need to step back a little bit. And actually I take Sundays off.
You take Sundays off.
And I
completely.
do whatever I want to do, and I get out of the house because if I'm in the house, I'm going to either clean something,
organize
something.
There's
I said,
always
nope,
something
out,
to do.
Get out, go to church in the morning. And yesterday I went to the beach with a good friend, and I'm always finding things to do, you know. And then when I get home, it's like, okay, then I start the next day. But if I'm home, I'm going to I know I'm going to do stuff.
Right.
I get out and take the day for myself.
I love it. So how do you? We've already been coming up to the end of the segment almost already. But so how do you, I want to answer one of your questions. But before we get into that, how do you balance your time of how much time do you invest in social media in your business?
I got to say at least a half an hour to an hour a day.
Okay.
A little bit in the morning, a little bit in the afternoon when I get home. And then I try to stay.
That's really good.
And then if I have to interact, I need to interact with people. I'll go interact. So about an hour or so a day, not a lot of time.
Not a lot of time, but spread out throughout the day about an hour.
About an hour.
Okay. Yeah. That seems about right to me. That's good. Because a lot of people ask, I don't have time, or how much time should I be spending? And they kind of get lost and overwhelmed with this idea.
I just stick it in pockets of time.
Mm-hmm.
Some days it's going to be in the morning. Sometimes if I didn't get a chance to do it in the morning, I'll stick it in at lunchtime, you know. And I'm trying to find the perfect time. Sometimes they say it's in the morning when you wake up. People are on there, or at lunchtime, or in the evening.
Right. I love it. All right. So I want to give you the opportunity. I know you said you had some questions for me. I want to give you the opportunity to ask me one before we wrap up today's show. So what do you got? What's the top question I can help you with?
Okay. So I think it was the last one. Do you have it on there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any business advice?
For marketing and stuff.
Just for marketing. Well, it sounds like you're doing the right things, right? So you're on social media, you're learning about Reels, which is so huge, by the way. If you're not using,
have fun.
And you can, you can have a lot of fun with it. But I think people really want to see that authenticity. They really want to see the behind the scenes. They want to see you get a little silly. They just want to connect with humans. So, So if you can use Reels to do that, I mean, definitely do that. You can do educational stuff on there, but that's really where people's interest is it's more so in stories and Reels. We're talking Instagram specifically.
Yes.
On the newsfeed posts, and also Instagram is more and more pushing Reels. So I think that you're doing that is a really awesome thing. I love that you're being authentic about the different types of your stuff that you're doing. You could even get somebody like Word out here, our producer. I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Help me, Howard, do my videos so that if you wanted to do polished videos of your classes to show people what that's like, maybe do some examples of trauma-informed yoga poses. So let's say okay, you talked about the lungs earlier. Okay, so what are some you can do videos. What are some stretches I can do to open up my lungs, right? What are some ways if I'm being really nervous about germs and stuff, which I'm laughing, but a lot of us are. Sure. If I'm being nervous about that, what are some mantras or again, poses or whatever it is that you think can help people sort of ease that anxiety a little bit? I mean, I think that would be more to do that. And then if you're not doing this already, continuously post about your class day and times when they're open to the public.
Okay.
Because this is the one thing, guys, you can't assume that just because you post something once that everybody sees it, or you just say, I don't want to be annoying and post it over again. So don't post it every single day for weeks on end, because yes, that will get annoying, but you have to remind people what it is that you're doing. Stories on Instagram is an awesome way to do this. Hey, don't forget tomorrow, Thursdays at this time, I have this class. This is how you register, right? And because I will tell you why, so when I published a book last year. And still to this day, I post about it every once in a while. And still to this day, people are like, oh, I didn't know you published a book. And I'm like, dude, you've been following me for 10 years. And I've talked about this book for a year and a half and you don't know that it's out. So that's what I mean. Like, just be consistent with maybe to put stuff out there. Whatever your goal is, just make sure that you're reminding people of what it is that you do, so that they know. But I think everything you're doing, the way that you're scheduling your time, doing the stories, learning about reels, you're off to you're ahead of the game by far.
All right.
By far. So I hope that helped you.
Yes, definitely.
All right. So anything else that you want to add before we wrap up today's show?
No,
how people can find you, maybe?
Oh, okay. Well, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. I'm mostly doing my jam on Instagram. I do stories. I'm doing reels, and I'm having so much fun on reels. And like Misty said, I'm doing educational stuff, like with my oils and non-toxic stuff, but I'm doing it in a funny, funny kind of way, so you can enjoy it and and reach out to me there. I do private classes. I do group classes. I do corporate classes. I do, if you want to do a party and you want to, implement all the stuff that I do, like yoga.
That is a cool idea.
It'll be nice, fun,
Wait, so dang it. I have to go, but I want, what do you do at these parties?
Well, whatever they want. I mean, I'll start with yoga. We can do yoga fun, and then we can do meditation, and then, maybe drawing. I mean, I'm trying to get into so many things,
That
is
awesome.
You can do a yoga themed party, with essential oils and make it really like zen and chill.
Oh my gosh. All right. So if you want to do a night out with your girls or even your boys, because men, this is also for you. Don't forget to take care of yourselves, and that you have bodies just like women do. It's the same thing, guys. You still same thing. So if you want to do, like that for your guys night out, do something a little bit different and just really empower one another, guys. Women, same thing. You want to empower one another. You can do groups, you can do it co-ed, whatever it is. But I love that idea. I think I like the idea for corporate too. So if you're a business owner, you want to bring some of this to your employees, I think this is an awesome idea. All right. So either way, make sure you go find Mary on social media. Instagram is her jam. Make sure you go find her there. We're going to wrap up for today. I will see you next week, where we are going to have somebody who's going to, I don't even know how to pronounce this, charcuterie boards. How do you say that? Charcuterie. Thank you. I better learn that before she comes next week. So my guest next week, she will be bringing that and talking about her charcuterie. Did I say that? Did I get
Yes,
it?
you did.
Yes.
You did.
Okay, so shark. I think it's the end part. I don't know. Anyways, I'll get it right by next week. So we'll be back next week. That'll be our topic, where we're going to talk about that, her business, and how she's growing that small business. And Mary, thank you so much again for being here today.
Thank you, Misty. It was an awesome.
You shared so much information. I hope you guys, if you missed the beginning, go back and watch the beginning of the show, because we talk a lot about stuff that's relevant to everybody today with your wellness. So thank you again for tuning in. I will see you next week. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Misty.
Thank you for producing this. And I'm going to stop talking now. Have a good day, everybody.